KrOb sign on? KrOb. Now we can start the show. It's important to, when you have a show, to prepare, so that you don't have like a Pete Goldie thing happen, which happens once a week here at the show. But, it's important to prepare, And I'd like to introduce you to someone who's been preparing his whole entire life for this moment for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Hal, here he is.
Say first, for heaven hides nothing from thy view, nor the deep tract of hell. Say first, what cause moved our grand parents in that happy state favored of heaven so highly, to fall off from their Creator and transgress his will? For one restraint, lords of the world besides. Who first seduced them to that foul revolt? The infernal serpent. He it was whose guile stirred up with envy and revenge, deceived the mother of mankind. But time his pride had cast him out from heaven with all his host of rebel angels, by whose aid aspiring to set himself in glory above his peers, he trusted to have equaled the Most High if he opposed, and with ambitious aim against the throne and monarchy of God raised impious war in heaven, and battle proud with vain attempt. Him the almighty power hurled headlong, flaming from the ethereal sky, with hideous ruin and combustion down to bottomless perdition, there to dwell in adamantine chains and penal fire, who durst defy the omnipotent to arms. 9 times the space that measures day from night to mortal men, he and his horrid crew lay vanquished, rolling in the fiery gulf, confounded, though immortal. But his doom reserved him more to wrath, for now the thought both of lost happiness and lasting pain torments him. Round he throws his baleful eyes, that witnessed huge affliction and dismay, mixed with obdurate pride and steadfast hate. At once, as far as angels ken, he views the dismal situation, waste and wild, a dungeon horrible, on all sides round as one great furnace flamed. Yet from those flames no light, but rather darkness visible, served only to discover sights of woe, regions of sorrow, doleful shades where peace and rest can never dwell. Hope never comes that comes to all, but torture without end still urges, and a fiery deluge fed with ever-burning sulfur unconsumed. Such place eternal justice had prepared for those rebellious. There their prison ordained in utter darkness, and their portion sent as far removed from God and light of heaven as from the center thrice to the utmost pole. Oh, how unlike the place from whence they fell. A place somewhat like the Ask Dr. Hal show. Yes, they fell from a place of ease and tranquility. One might even call it a salon, where many ideas may exist simultaneously without being in contention. The light and the flower of intellect, that's what we hope to have for you. But to be cast out of the Ask Dr. Hal show is like
The monologues of the astrologer Pete Goldie, whose 5-minute mission, and it's 5 fucking minutes, Pete, 5 minutes, that's all you get. His 5-minute mission is to boldly talk about pie charts, graphs, and solar radiation in a way that no other science question and answer show on Cesar Chavez Street on Friday night on the south side of the street will attempt to embrace. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Pete Goldie, our resident astrologer, looking to the future, space, hybrid spaceships, and like my career, the music has stopped. Pete, are you here on stage?
Then all I can say is that we have to do something that will change your whole attitude.
Yes.
And the only thing that will change your attitude, I think, is if we resurrect something that used to be in the show, those many years ago, and other venues ago. We used to have here a representative of a space agency who used to come here to our program. And I don't know exactly what happened to him, but I'm hoping, do we have the return of, somewhere up there in space, I'm looking now.
Space!
The return of everyone's favorite astronaut. And who is everyone's favorite astronaut? Is it not the slowly descending from space astronaut over there? That astronaut that everyone knows is the Brazilian astronaut. There he is, everyone. Everyone, the Brazilian astronaut. Welcome back to the Ask Dr. Hal show. It's been a long time.
Wow. He's wearing a tinfoil fez.
Yeah, why is he wearing that fez, Chicken? Do you suppose you could figure out why he's wearing that fez?
Well, I would venture a guess that the tinfoil fez was to prevent the rays from getting into...
Oh yes, he's just as surly as ever. You know, those Brazilians they're a spicy lot.
Rays.
Brazilian astronauts. Well, don't go away. We have more humiliation for you. Come back. And listen, Brazilian astronaut, I understand that today you actually applied for a position at America's space agency, NASA. Is that true? Oh, he's fondling one of the guests. Anyway, we're so happy he's here. He wasn't assassinated as many people thought, or if he was, this is his brother. But we're all glad that he's here. I don't know what he's doing. And Moses, come back here and help me read this. I need to get out of here. I'm sure the Brazilian astronaut will do something really...
hold on, wait a second. How many
Brazilian astronauts are there?
No,
How many brothers does our Brazilian astronaut have? How many times was a Brazilian astronaut shot at 12 galaxies last time we saw him?
It's a joke.
How many people shot at the Brazilian astronaut during the show?
You're supposed to say a Brazilian. That's how many.
Oh.
See, this is a nightclub act, and I set up the jokes, and you knocked them down. It's been 10 years, and you just don't fucking get it. You know what I'm saying?
No, this is a serious science show. Next image, please. I want to talk about the Japanese space program, since we finished talking about the Brazilian space program.
I'm in the French space program. I have a beret on.
Is there a French space program?
Oui. What are you going to do now, Pete? How do you fuck the show up?
Hi, Chicken. Can you turn the light on for me? Oh, okay.
We're bathed in blackness and... God damn it, the terrorist won.
I have a problem. This is Moses' script. Here.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have fucking scripts. At least when you didn't have a script, there was an excuse for why it wasn't funny.
Weren't you at... You were at rehearsal, weren't you?
Rehearsal?
Oh, no, it was your fake mustache was rehearsed. Okay.
15 years we've been doing this show. 15 years we've been coming on this stage with only that. That's it. That's all we had.
Okay.
So here it is. Funny and interesting and sexy. Go.
Okay. Here we go. The Japanese sent a mission to an asteroid, and the mission was intended to take some photographs, touch down on the surface, collect some asteroid stuff, and return to Earth. Everything went wrong, and it returned to Earth anyway. It was an incredible mission, but nothing worked right. And they were pretty sure that the capsule that returned to Earth was completely empty. Well, lo and behold, they opened up the capsule, and they found a red arrow. Oh no, and what they did is they actually took this special Japanese-built spatula, and it's called a spatula. in scientific terms. And they scraped the inside of that capsule. And on the inside of that capsule, what did they see? They saw more arrows.
More arrows. Hey.
Blue arrows and red arrows. And they actually found that they were able to detect on the inside of the capsule aluminum dust from the capsule and other little bits of junk. They found about 1,000 tiny little submicron particles. And
hold on, wait a minute. They went to outer space and they came back and they found a couple thousand submicronic particles
inside a capsule, yes. And it took like 7 years to get back. It was very, very complicated.
What happened to the 5-minute mission?
They came back and they swabbed in the inside. Now the question is this dust? Is this just aluminum from the inside of the capsule, or is it really space asteroid dust? And they did some tests on it, and most of them are in fact artifact. The red arrows are what we care about, and the red arrows with the next illustration will clearly show to you that, next picture, that the red dot there are the particles they found there, and they compared them to the dirt where they built the capsule, and the dirt where they launched the capsule, and the dirt where they landed the capsule, and it wasn't like that, it was actually like asteroid dirt. So they actually got back about 1,000 submicron bits of dust from that asteroid. The Japanese people are so happy that their mission was marginally a success after all those years. Go back one, please, David. We're not ready to move ahead for another 5 minutes. Yeah.
5 minutes total. That's all you get. 5 minutes. That's it.
I have a lot to talk about on this first slide. This is actually a very interesting context picture. You don't see many of these big pictures anymore coming from Mars because they have such great cameras on the orbiters now. They get the details. You only see a rock or a pebble or something like that at a time. But this is a big picture, and it shows the large giant Gusev crater where the Mars Spirit Rover is stuck in the sand at this time. Now the important thing about this image is it was taken by the Mars Odyssey orbiter, and on, let's see, today's the 10th, 5 days from now, the Mars Odyssey orbiter will set a record as being the longest continually operating spacecraft in Martian orbit. 3,340 days of continuous operation in orbit around Mars since it first entered orbit on October 21st,
yeah, but I mean, who's keeping track, really?
I am.
I'm gonna kill you in like 13 seconds.
One last picture. Remember how we ended last week's show? I said, hey, what is it? I'll tell you next week.
There it is.
It's next week now.
What is it?
I'm going to just spill the beans. That's a very rare star.
Where?
That pinwheel is formed by a star that's rather rare. It's a carbon-rich star nearing the end of its lifetime. It's only 300 degrees Kelvin. That thing, you couldn't even cook brownies on that star. It's so cold. But our infrared detectors have picked up this spiral, perfectly formed Archimedean spiral coming off of this. Now, why would this spiral? Now, it's often you see shells, concentric shells of material on the outside of old stars like this. But this is a spiral because when they looked with a different infrared telescope, they found this star had a companion. And that is enough and close enough and just the right mass that as it throws off its outer layers of its atmosphere, it forms a perfect spiral. Quite a pretty thing there. And next picture, David, I'd like you to know my daughter is now wearing spacesuits as she walks around the house. She's gotten into this. Next picture will show you she's leaving the capsule, going out to explore the space regions inside the space around my house. And one last picture. Take a look at this, please. What is it? What's going on here?
What is it?
Tell you next week. Don't you have a little like a calendar every day you mark it? 1, 2. Then you get to 3,340, and you go, yay! There we are. Anyway, and they took this picture, and it did that, and I think you like it. While we're on Mars, we can actually move ahead to the next slide.
Did you just say while we're on Mars?
Yes, while we're on Mars. Here's another shot of Mars.
What I'm looking at here are two distinctly black dots on an otherwise...
And this and this?
Yes.
That's right. That's on Mars. There, both of those black holes on Mars